New year, huh? Every year feels the same to me. In my fantasy world, I'm gonna witness some unusual stuff like yesteryear and before that. While in real life, I'll still be living with my mom, unemployed, stuck on my PC, doing reviews, coming up with some stupid crap for my stories, and wishing that I actually lived in my fantasy world. They're alive too, anyone? Oh hey, another excuse for my horniness. Back in 1996, Tomonobu Takagi created the original Dead or Alive in an attempt to boost sales for Tecmo and to garner a fanbase. Originally released to the arcades and then ported to consoles, with the PS1 being the only international release, it was a success somewhat, with critics praising this virtual fighter-esque fighter for its fast action, and it did garner a following, for different reasons. I reviewed the PlayStation version in 2018, back when I was a dark brunette. 3 years later, Itakagi's Team Ninja created a sequel using Sega's Naomi arcade hardware with much improved gameplay while upgrading the sex appeal. Woo. It was ported to the Dreamcast, published by Acclaim in Europe, and PlayStation 2 in 2000. While the phone was a good port, the original Japanese version for the latter was plagued with glitches and was also prone to freezing. Itakagi wasn't impressed, so the much improved arcade version was made and released in late 2000, also known as Hard X Core in Japan and just Dead or Alive 2 in Europe. That's the version I'll be looking at. Alright, my first PS2 game review in years, and now I want to be blind. I hate these early PS2 Platinum boxes. This is like those third-party PS1 value covers I've mentioned before in my reviews. Just shrink the box of a popular game to justify the discount. These, on the other hand, are worse. They used to step on Konami's best levels of recursion, and I don't like it. Whatever happened to just slapping the Yellow Valley series line? Fortunately, Sony then rectified that problem by taking out the blow to have this nice finish despite the thick border around it, and later on made them tacky. The spines are much better. The color changes make them stick out of the shelf like a sore thumb. Okay, enough complaining about the little bits, that's Scott Wozniak's job. Let's just start this game and not cheese! So the game has something called a User Profile System, or UPS for short. It's basically just that, saving your profile. As if the system file save wasn't enough, although it does make unlocking one of the two characters easier. Let's take a look at Story Mode, which is basically arcade mode comprised of 7 stages for each character, with short cutscenes in between some matches. Oh hey, Kasumi finding a smug clone, how relatable of me. If you really want to play DOA for the story somehow, get that mentioned in onwards. So you have the returning ones from the first game like Chun-Li, Hulk Hogan, Dennis Rodman, Joe Musashi, and basically my avatar at this point. But then you have new ones like 21-year-old MILF Helena, Babyman Psycho Fighter Leon, and an amnesiac twink named Ein. I want him to rail my ass. So much like the first game, it's very fast, very intuitive. While the controls are mostly the same, the hold button has been tweaked. Holding it will make the character go on a blocky stance, much like going back. If you want to do counterattacks, you have to press one of the directional pads depending on the type of attack, then square, like left plus square for mid attacks, which I only use. Grabbing an opponent is now binding to the X button instead of one of the shoulder buttons, making it easier and comfortable. Speaking of which, you can also do combo grab moves, which also apply to holds. The gameplay is redefined for the better. It's all in the combos, baby. If you want to learn some moves, go to sparring mode and read some convoluted moves. Seriously, I don't know what to do with these dark blue arrows. And having to use the D-pad is gonna give me blisters. I played Street Fighter EX3 before, and I had a bad experience trying to do these super attacks. Sure, you can use the left stick, but you pretty much prefer an arcade stick instead. At least tons are still here. Yeah, I can suck a doorknob. God damn, and I reviewed Most Wanted earlier, but while the difficulty there is quite inconsistent when it comes to the blacklist racers, here it gradually gets harder and harder to the point where it's almost impossible to beat them. By stage 5, they keep blocking, countering, predicting almost every move you do, and I'm on normal. It's like it has a dynamic difficulty system. This is why I don't main Lei Fang. She just feels weak compared to Tina. I had the hardest time in story mode as her, especially when I'm confronting Chun-Li. The same cannot be said in reverse. One try, and I was so close to death. It's amazing. Okay, I'm getting the feel that I actually suck at this. It's sad that I keep mashing buttons, but considering the fast-paced action, especially with the hardcore version, is my preferred method when it comes to hard opponents. The fighting game community really hate me now. All storylines in story mode always ends with a boss match with this demonic being. Yes, difficult to beat and sometimes cheap, even on normal, but if you know how to block and counter, exploit the crap out of it. Unlike the previous game, the stages are now fully realized, with hazards, breakable objects, and multiple levels and floors, ranging from tiny to huge height differences. Most 3D fighters at the time had stages where it's just a plane that goes beyond infinity, even if the background is in 3D, or sometimes are enclosed to give you ring out if you go outside, few exceptions being Bushido Blade and wrestling games. Nowadays, we take fully 3D stages for granted, even if the developers prefer planes or 2.5D gameplay more, but in 1999 they probably blew a lot of minds. Since there are walls, there are new grab moves involving them, and nothing much to talk about them, they are good in general. Considering the walls, it can be funny when doing grab moves involving walking or moving. As for the other modes, there's time attack, survival, and team battle returning from one, but there's also tag team new to the series. It's pretty much that, 2-on-2 tag team battles, and you can do tagging attacks, some unique to preset teams. I really like this one, even if in single player mode they're hard as nails in the last 2 matches, and it's pretty short. Please excuse my loneliness, but I played this with my dad and nephew before as a kid. I didn't care if it was a T-rated game or the abundance of fan service back then. Now? Oh god, I sometimes get distracted, but we'll get to that later. Survivor has been refined. Now in this version, it only takes place in one stage to provide a well-paced experience, and I really like it. It is not a matter of points in the rankings. Doing certain moves like punch, kick, runs, and grabs, or fighting with a full health bar gives you points, as well as these objects the fun fighters drop, a few giving you extra health. I really love how fast the loading times are. Hell, other than this loading bar, they feel non-existent. Getting to the next map, boom, instant load. It's like I'm playing a PC game. Because of that, there are no FMVs whatsoever. Only in-game cinematics and— oh shit, she was 16 there! Sorry, I forgot that happened in the attract mode. There are noticeable loading black screens when it comes to tag fights. After you win a match, it fades to black for a few seconds and then the next match is loaded. I guess loading 4 characters to the catch was just too much. Let me say this, that I'm fine with big breasts. It's just that I'd rather be looking at porn than play this for the tits. The jiggle physics are still here, but not to an insane degree. Although if you really want to up the ante, set your race to 99. It's like I'm back in 1996. Oh please, you were only a fetus back then. How are you supposed to relive that? Okay, 2000 I guess. Your mind is all fuzzy about your past, huh? Tell me, how does it feel starting to remember your worst moments in your life? Can we not go there, Mom? Let's talk presentation. The graphics are great, but haven't aged well in some aspects, like the characters. Yeah, despite never playing 5 and beyond, I somehow got used to the newer, more realistic looking models than these anime-esque ones, with their big eyes and all the female characters. Male characters, even if they look glossy, are good looking though. And yes, I really do love my boy Ein, aka Hayate. Oh, whoops, I dropped the spoilers. Man, half the door are free, everyone knows that fact. I really like the fishnet tank top under his jacket outfit more than this shinobi white one in later games. I like black, I wish he went with a black one instead. Speaking of, there are alternative attires you can unlock as you play the game. You can make Jen Lee and Nine shirtless and— okay, maybe they just stick with their clothes. You ain't young Dante, not even reboot Dante.
This is why they call me the total package.
Everything else is good looking. The visuals are improved from the original PS2 version, but there's still the issue of interlaced jaggies, which plague many games. But with the CRT TV, you won't be bothered by it. Although, despite playing on an LED flat screen, I didn't really notice any interlaced artifacts either. Maybe my eyesight is bad. For sound, they are really great. The punches, kicks, and hits have the same oomph like the first game, and I really love it. For the voices, it has a story mode after all. I can't really comment on the Japanese ones, but because I don't understand the language yet. Thankfully, hardcore has English voices, and oh fuck, I can't take them seriously. Voice actors doing the bare minimum, or just don't care much. They're cheesy as hell, like Yosemite Base here.
I ain't gonna give Tina to you! Wrestling is the baddest!
And while I love it, there are some issues that strikes an inch, like the Sonic Adventure 2 dub problem.
Did you say Tina?
What
I won't give my Tina to anybody!
Get ready, fire!
But then there's the English voice by Ian. Holy hell, whoever voiced her sounds really bored. Like she didn't get enough training for it.
Get out of my way. You came all the way here? Sorry, I'm not sweet. You run away, Shinobi. You scum. Why?
So, pretty much Ronda Rousey, huh? There is this one moment I like though.
Leave now. This is not a simple combat championship. I don't think you commoners can handle it.
Keep your mouth shut!
I love Hayabusa's English voice. He seems so chill, even when confronted with the tango.
Let me take your life.
Other than that, I stick with the Japanese voices. Music is top notch. The soundtrack is actually one of my favorites in the genre, with the shooter being the best. And yes, that's what it is called. Another thing is that it has two licensed songs from Bomb Factory, one of them used for the intro cinematic, and the other used in a CG gallery. Oh no, this video is about to be demonetized! Even though I still don't have monetization permission yet, after the new rules. Please like and subscribe so I can reach an arbitrary number. Also support me on Patreon. That was Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore. It's a good game hampered by the cheap at worst AI. Sure, I definitely suck at this game and I'll probably get my ass kicked harder by other players, but hey, what do I know? Later on, Team Ninja made another version for the Xbox called Dota 2 Ultimate, which was released in 2004, alongside an improved version of the Saturn port of the first game for some reason. Why not the arcade version? It has improved visuals, new levels, a cutscene explaining the backstory of Kasumi Ayan, licensed Aerosmith songs, and Hitomi. Unfortunately, this was the last Dota game to be multiplat and, until Dimensions in 5 came, the series was Xbox exclusive. Thank God Microsoft didn't buy Tecmo and Team Ninja. I'll be pissed off too if the series stayed that way. Although if that happened, we wouldn't have other ends, so that would have been a decent trade-off. Nothing like starting the year with a short review. Man, it was a doozy doing such huge reviews if they do not have a story in between. I'm having a feeling someone's gonna wreck me in the future. Oh, you definitely will be, you little silly you. I sure hope your sister won't mind.